Hello, my international professionals. How are you? Oh, hello, Shona. How are you?
I'm very well, Tana. How are you? How is life in Dubai?
All good. Yes, thank you. But I'm always thinking about Ireland. I was just there.
It never leaves you, right? It gets under your skin.
Never. So, everybody, look, today it's going to be a very chilled chat. And we are here to talk about how you can get a job in Ireland. And myself and Shona, we will be answering all your questions and we will be talking about the market um, for anyone that wants to get a job in Ireland or anyone that is already in Ireland and wants to get a better job or something different or that a job that you can earn more money. Anyway, this chat, it's all about you, my international professionals. So thank you, Selena, for being here. Uh,
Hello, Selena. Welcome.
we have
Oh,
Yanni. Thank you very much. Good morning from Brazil. So, girls, if you want to ask anything, just send to us, all right? So we're gonna just start, by giving to you. Um, Before that, Shona, introduce yourself because some people don't know who you are. So tell everyone who you are.
with pleasure. Thank you, Tana. So, my name is Shauna. I am part of the Storani team, part of the Storani family. I've been with Tana for the last almost 6 years. How time goes so quickly. So I am Irish. I am living in Paris, in France. My background initially was in recruitment, and then I took a very hello, Antonio. Then I took a very long break. So for all of you who are trying to go back into your area after a long break, I know all about it. I had nearly a 10-year break from recruitment before I came back into career consulting. I've been doing it now for the past 6 years, and I absolutely love it. The great thing about Storani is we have an amazing opportunity of working with clients across every single sector you can possibly imagine. I'm constantly learning. I've had clients from accountancy to finance to microbiology, you name it. So really diverse client segment. Hello, Lillian. And
Ellie.
it's amazing to be part of this evening's conversation and the next couple of Mondays going forward to join Tana and have a chance to interact with you guys a little bit more. And of course with Tana and share ideas.
Thank you. Hello, everyone that's joining us now. We
Hello.
have a good amount of people. I'm delighted.
Happy
If you
days.
have any questions, just send to us. All right, we're gonna answering during the call. Okay, the meeting
Mm-hmm.
here, and let's start by talking how is the market in Ireland because we have been working with clients that they do their CV, their LinkedIn, and we know their struggles. We know how they get it, how and when they get a job. We have an
Yes.
amazing group, WhatsApp group, where we help each other. It's the networking group. So we know when someone gets a job, when they have struggles, or when they need to know anything, and I want to give you all an update in regards to the market in Ireland, okay? Because we had a bit of a downsize after COVID, right, Shona?
Absolutely. Post pandemic, we've seen a lot of changes. I
Yeah.
think there's been post pandemic, and then there's been a few other factors as well. There's been, unfortunately, the war, which has had a huge economical impact on the world. So we are seeing some moves and changes. So I think constantly staying on top of the market, particularly from a job seeker's perspective, is really important to ensure that you guys are going in with your eyes open to the reality of the situation.
Yes. So I was in Ireland right just now. I heard, there are some layoffs.
Yes.
Uh, it's been going across the board.
Yeah.
However, it's not in all the areas. Some companies are recruiting normally. They
Yeah.
are still searching for people. Okay. But
Absolutely.
yes, but it really depends on the area. So I would say, like pharmacy, The pharmaceutical companies, pharmaceutical companies are booming,
Absolutely.
engineering. What do you think?
Absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. I was thinking exactly what you're saying. It depends on what your area is. And I think what's so important. Hello, hi there, hi to Brazil.
Yeah.
Um, what's going to be so important as well for you guys as job seekers is staying on top of the market. So, for example, we might see that there's been a layoff in terms of the amount of online technical support. But if you're a tech person, you've got to ask yourself, well, what's happening right now? AI. So what can I do to skill myself to be ready for that? Hi, Washington. So I think what's really important is, yes, understanding there have been layoffs and we need to be realistic about that. There are layoffs. We're hearing it all the time, the
Yes.
big tech guys and everything. We're hearing about it. But your question shouldn't be who are they laying off, but what are they looking for? What is the future of my role? Where can I go from here? And I think being smart and I think we always say there's a difference between a passive job seeker and a job hunter. And to be a job
Yeah.
hunter means you need to know what's going on in the market. It's really crucial. But don't let your confidence drop because you hear of layoffs. It happens every couple of years. We hit a crisis, companies let go of people. And then what happens?
Yeah.
We boom again. So
Exactly.
it's a circle. It's a circle.
Exactly. Ricardo said, I'm a developer full stack with expertise in WordPress and WooCommerce. So developers are always in need. They are
Always.
always recruiting developers. So I have
Absolutely.
2 friends. They work in the tech industry. So one of her works at Amazon and the other TikTok. And they are also going through layoffs, but they said the developers, they never let, like they are never fired. They never let the developers go. And they
Absolutely.
recruit developers.
Absolutely. And particularly where you're full stack, where your expertise go beyond front or back end, where you have that more global knowledge as well. It's a pretty invaluable asset to a team. So yeah, you're never going to go out of style as a
No,
developer.
exactly. But however, you have to remember that now you have much more other developers, like competing with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's a really good point. Being aware not only of your market, but of your competitors and knowing how to stay ahead of your competitors. It's crucial. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a jungle out there. And right now it's a buyer's market. So it's all about supply and demand. Right now, there are more people looking for jobs than there are jobs. So you've got to ask yourself, okay, so how do I stand out from the crowd, right? It's all about that now.
Exactly. Look, we have a question here, Milka Carolina. Boa tarde.
Hello.
So my husband works in the pharmaceutical industry here in Brazil, and we are planning
Mm-hmm.
to move to get an international career. Okay, we lived in Dublin in 2014, fluent English. What are our chances? Super high. It's so
Super, super high.
super high. If your husband works in the pharmaceutical industry, the chances of getting a job with paid work permit is really
Yes,
high. It's
really,
one
really
of
high.
the
Yeah.
industries that never stopped, right?
Absolutely. Not only it's one of our big 5 industries, but it's also one of the most in-demand industries for critical skills. So
Yes,
particularly if you're looking at areas like research and development, manufacturing, quality and control regulations, it's a golden
regulations.
ticket.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
golden
have
ticket.
clients that got a job from in Brazil while they were in Brazil, and they were, like,
Amazing.
yeah. If I'm not wrong, it was last year 5.
Amazing. It's an industry, it's perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. And we've got so many of the big companies there in Dublin. Cork as well is another interesting destination for pharma professionals. But definitely, and especially if you've had that knowledge of Dublin again, you have that language experience. Yeah,
yes.
I wouldn't be worried for you.
Antonio is asking about opportunities in cybersecurity. That's a tricky
Oh,
question.
It is a tricky question. And would you believe we have a member of our team who has pretty good knowledge about cybersecurity as well? I think going forward, this is going to be such an important industry because the more we're realizing the power of the internet and just how much of our information is going out there into the web, the more companies are looking for experts on how do we keep our users safe. So when you
Yes.
look at how many of the tech companies are based in Dublin, how many are people going to be looking for professionals like you? So I think it's a really interesting area, but for us, it's still quite niche. I know personally as a careers
It is
consultant,
niche.
I really haven't had that many profiles based in
Yeah.
cybersecurity. So I'm learning as well.
I had already. I have done 3 cybersecurity resumes, one, 2 in Ireland and one in the Netherlands. The
Ah,
Brazilian, this professional that works in the Netherlands, he was actually headhunted uh, while he was in Brazil to work in Amsterdam. And then he
oh,
hired our services because he wanted something better, like he wanted
mhm.
a better salary. But what we felt is that it is a very niche and small market. Why? Although all companies need a cybersecurity team and have a cybersecurity team, generally is only 1 or 2 professionals in the team. It's not a large team of
Yes,
cybersecurity, like professionals.
yes,
Generally 1 or 2, and it's a very it's how can I say, they need to trust you. If
for
they
sure.
go through, like background check and everything. So
Hmm.
it's a trust, it's a position where they need to trust you. That
Yeah,
you have to have a lot of good recommendations. So that's
yes.
a good thing to remember. Try to get good recommendations in your
Mm.
LinkedIn.
Honestly, people don't understand the power of a good LinkedIn recommendation, right? Because recruiters check that when they're scrolling through your page, it's one of the first places their eye catches. So, anyone, ex colleagues, it doesn't have to be management guys, it can be someone that you had a really good relationship with. Maybe you worked on a project, it doesn't matter. Fill up your recommendation section.
Yeah. Andres is asking, has there any been an increase in remote offerings in Ireland post-COVID? That's unfortunately, Andres, all the companies want the employee to come back to the office.
Yeah, yeah. This was the dream, Andreas. We were all living for this dream at the start of the pandemic.
Exactly.
Everyone thought they were going to work from home full time. Unfortunately, no. It was
Correct.
a realistic option from a I guess a health and safety perspective at the beginning of the pandemic. But what we're seeing more and more is that companies are favoring either a hybrid option, or a lot of companies, including some of the big guys that you may not suspect, including Apple, are preferring to have their workforce on site because they find it encourages collaboration, idea sharing, and
Yeah.
also, if you've got a client facing role, they want you in front of the client, right? They don't want you hiding behind your computer. So it depends on your industry. And it
Depends on
also opened up a lot of questions about tax and insurance. And are people actually in the country when they say they're in the country? It's not a black and white area, unfortunately.
Yeah, for example, one of my friends, he works at LinkedIn, all right? He
Yeah.
is one of the managers in what I don't know exactly the department. It's like employee relations.
Mm.
And he was able to get a position approved to work remotely in Spain.
Ah,
Yes, so he is in Spain. So there are opportunities to
yes.
work remotely still. However, you have to be in the EU area. They don't recruit anyone
Mm.
based in Brazil, for example, because
Mm.
it really depends of tax legislation.
Yeah.
For example, in Ireland, you cannot stay over 4 months outside of the country due to,
Mm.
yes, to tax purposes. So
Yeah.
it's really tricky for a company to hire someone based in Brazil remotely, for example.
Yeah, definitely. Or even like I was chatting with one of the legal professionals. Now, this was back during the pandemic, but they said one of the big challenges that recruiters are that, excuse me, the companies are experiencing is when you're in your workplace from 9 to 5, if you have an accident at work, you're covered by public insurance liability. But if you have an accident during your time of work, but you're not in the office, it means that the office becomes liable for you outside of your workspace. So it gets really, really messy and complicated. So, what I would say is, if your goal role is a remote role, be prepared to be competitive and to win for some pretty strong negotiations, because it's not as easy as we initially thought that it could be. So maybe just have your eyes open about that.
Exactly. So next question, Marcela is saying, I work in investment and retirement planning in Brazil, and I don't have European passports. I will be moving to Ireland with the student visa next year. Will I have the opportunity to work in my field? Investment and retirement planning, it's banking, right? It's really difficult to get a job opportunity without the visa, without the passport.
Yeah.
Banking, I generally don't see them paying for work permits.
Similarly, and also to keep in mind, Marcella, with anything where you're dealing with policies, retirements or investments, you are looking at least having certification of local knowledge, because from country to country, the compliance, the regulations surrounding that, they're going to be very different. So I would definitely look at maybe what courses you can do to propel yourself in your industry, but to arrive and just get the job, I wouldn't think so.
Yes. And again, you have to remember everything is up to the company, and
Absolutely.
it's up to the company. And for example, bankings, all the banks, all right, they can hire any other European, and generally that's what they do, because the banking industry in Ireland, it's a little bit different from Brazil. The banking industry in Ireland, they don't really want a candidate with banking experience or with administration bachelor degree. They can hire anyone, and they train to put in, like in that department. So you will see a lot of professionals from different areas, like people that came from I don't know, like
Teaching, sales,
sales, collections, even they love candidates that comes from insurance. They hire a lot of professionals that have experience in insurance to work for these departments, which we call, like back office departments or the operational departments, and they train them and they work, like in the bank. That's why it's really difficult you see a professional getting a work visa from a bank.
Yeah. And a lot of the bankings, as you say, Tana, like they have internal management programs where people start as a teller on the front desk. And then the idea is that they spend time in each department and get to managerial level. So it's all about internal training.
Yeah, I see a lot of Brazilians working this area,
Interesting.
In the branches in Ireland. So every time you go there, do you know the customer service right in front of the door that helps, like, they most of them are Brazilians. And then I see them going, like internally, but most of them have European passport or the stamp for visa.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's working in the industry. I've seen many.
Yeah, but it's just knowing who to get the connection with. But that's where your networking can come in really helpful for you as well. But in terms of looking for a visa, it's not the best industry.
Yeah. Open your mind, Marcela. There are other companies that would hire you because you have banking experience, transaction experience, collections. You have all, this financial and banking background to work for a private consultancy or to work in different areas. And they pay your visa for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking consulting. I was like, maybe that could be an interesting avenue for you.
Exactly. So there are opportunities, but try to open your mind, And again, you have to start from the beginning, doing a good CV and a good LinkedIn. Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we still have Felipe. I am a SAP consultant. Felipe, SAP consultant, Portugal. There is loads of job in Portugal for SAP consultants. Loads. I am a pharmacist in Brazil. Deborah, I am really sorry to say that, but getting a job as a pharmacist in Ireland, it's really difficult.
Yeah,
you have to do you have to get a certification. have to study again.
Yep.
And then they also, I've seen a lot of Brazilians working in the pharmacy as an assistant,
Our
a pharmacy
technicians as well.
assistant or technicians, all right?
Yeah.
I've seen one Brazilian guy that got a work permit, but
Oh,
not as a pharmacist. He was like a pharmacist assistant, and he used to work in the back office, doing
the
the
drug
the, the
distribution.
drug distribution. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. It's one of those funny things when you hear us talk about pharmacy, it's quite different because I've had clients who think, oh, but pharmacy Ireland, it's booming. You're like, okay, there's a difference between industry pharmacy and then front end distribution pharmacist, which obviously falls into a different category. Pharmacy technician or assistant, yes, but to practice your trade, unfortunately, more complicated.
it's more complicated. You have to
Yeah,
go back to and study and get this certifications. It's like a registration, as a
exactly.
pharmacist, to work as a pharmacist, and it's not easy. I
No,
know
because
that.
everything's different. The EU
Yeah.
drug regulatory system is different. All the names of medicines are different. It's a huge process.
Yeah. Samuel, hello. I moved to Ireland 2 months ago. Welcome. And a half.
Welcome.
And I am EU citizen, very good, with 9 years of experience in full stack developer. And I can't find a job.
Amazing.
How come you cannot find a job, Samuel? There's something
Yeah.
wrong there in your resume or your LinkedIn.
Well,
I
it's
think
saying here, I did many interviews, but nothing yet.
tips for me. I
So,
almost worked for a survivor.
oh, okay. What I would say at this point, Samuel, the question then is not your profile because you're getting interviews. For me, the question or the doubt is, what are you doing during your interviews? Can we make
Yeah.
it better?
Yes, I think you need an interview preparation.
100%.
For sure,
100%.
interview preparation. And also, maybe, I'm not saying that is, but could be your level of English. That could be something that,
Uh,
you know, are
yeah.
hindering you to pass the interviews, or you're
Mm,
not preparing yourself, like what
yeah.
good enough, well enough, or the level of English. So if you want, we have a English teacher that helps all our
Mm,
clients in Storani Careers. Marina,
yeah.
she's very good. She used to be a recruiter. She used to be a recruitment manager, and she have
Hmm.
done loads of interviews. She knows exactly what you need to say or what you need to
Yeah.
do, but she does only English classes. If you want,
Hmm.
you can like have a interview preparation with us. I'm sure
Yeah.
you will improve your interview skills. Okay.
Absolutely. What I would say for IT professionals, one thing I've noticed as well is that the guys are amazing. You always have your head in projects, but sometimes when it comes to presenting yourselves, you're lacking the sales skills that client and customer facing professionals can have. So if
Yes.
you
Yeah.
spend your day working in computers, sometimes you're not quite sure how do you engage another person or a panel in a way that builds a relationship. So sometimes I notice my IT guys, when it comes to their interviewing techniques, maybe aren't as strong, even if their profile is amazing. They're just not sure how to put themselves out there. So maybe it's a social thing as well. It's like knowing how to put the light on yourself and be the star of your own interview.
Exactly. And again, you have to remember, in all the interviews, you cannot say we. You have to say I. I did. I worked in that department. I
Yeah.
have worked in the project. I
Yes.
Do you understand? I got this result. Never we. This is something Brazilians do
Oh, yeah.
a lot. A lot. We
Yeah.
always say we because we think in the team.
Yeah,
But
of
here,
course.
the company, it's like they're assessing you. They're assessing an individual contributor.
You're the
You,
star
an
of your
individual,
interview.
not your team. So you have
Yeah.
always to say I. Okay, I did this. I worked in that project. I
Yeah.
was able to I got this result
Achieve.
because, yeah, you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
Cool. Ellen, I'm a manufacturing engineer, specialist in lean manufacturing process and process mapping. Very good. Engineers always, there's plenty of job for engineers in Ireland.
Plenty.
Plenty. Look, I know you are a manufacturing engineer. There
Yeah.
aren't as many jobs
many.
as the mainland, like in Germany.
Germany, France, yeah,
What else?
Luxembourg, Belgium.
Yeah, there. So maybe open up your mind. Start thinking about
Yeah,
other countries. Oh, Dana, but they don't speak English. They do. Everyone speaks English in
yeah,
Europe. Like most of the, not everyone. Sorry, let me rectify. Most of the high-level professionals in
yeah.
Europe speaks English, and if you're going to work for a multinational, most likely you will speak English only.
Yeah, exactly. And Germany's always safe. Luxembourg, Belgium, all those areas, Benelux area, with the exception of France. Typically, if you have English and you're at a high level professional, yeah. But manufacturing, engineer Ireland, yes. Manufacturing engineer, I'd be a baby looking mainland Europe.
Yes. And if you want to get a broader networking and reach, I would highly suggest you to contact Engineers Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah,
Great
they're a
tip.
good
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. Very good tip.
Adriani, I am a .NET full stack developer with a work visa in Portugal, and I can
Can I
go.
go to
Can
Ireland?
I go to Ireland? Like you mean working, living in Ireland while working for Portugal? Unfortunately, no.
Mm,
Unfortunately, you can't, because your visa is to live in Portugal.
yeah.
Okay, so your visa, your work visa, gives you the right, okay, to stay in Portugal. In
Yeah.
Ireland, you can only stay for 3 months as a tourist. So if you want to go to Ireland and stay there for 3 months, yes, you can. But live there, I'm not sure. No, you know why? Because you cannot. For example, Portugal, Estonia, Hungary, they have the digital nomad visa.
Interesting.
Yes. So, for example, you could apply for a Hungarian digital nomad visa, and then work and live in Hungary. But Ireland doesn't have this visa yet. They don't have this
Yeah, it's
visa.
true. It's so interesting.
Dubai have a digital nomad visa. So, for example, if you could apply to Dubai and come and live in Dubai, working for this company in Portugal, if you want.
Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice, right? But Ireland doesn't
Mm.
have digital nomad visa.
Oh,
Portugal
it has
has.
to catch up. It has to catch
Let's
up.
check in ChatGPT. What are the countries? What countries
Saving our life.
offer? I love ChatGPT. Offer
It's amazing.
digital nomad visas. If I'm not wrong, Germany is about to release a digital nomad visa too.
Very interesting. One thing with that as well, Adrienne, is when you're looking at a digital nomad visa, it's always to ask yourself, do the wages that I earn from the company base justify the lifestyle of the country I'm about to live in? So I guess it's a question from an economizing point of view to see, is it an interesting choice for you? Because if you were earning Irish wages, you could live anywhere. But maybe wages and salaries in Portugal might be a bit more restrictive. So always worth to do your homework to see, will your wages justify your new lifestyle?
Yeah, exactly. So look, the countries are Estonia, Barbados, Bermuda, Georgia, Iceland. Iceland, Jesus, I would never go to Iceland. To live
Same.
there, never. Too cold.
Even for me
Croatia,
as an Irish person, I'll say too cold.
no. Croatia, Portugal, Cayman Islands, Costa Rica,
Mhm.
ba- Antigua and Barbaduda. I don't know where is this place. Sorry. Dubai, Thailand, and Malta.
Okay,
Thailand,
interesting.
yeah.
Very good. There you go.
Next question then. Wow, we have a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah.
So, para engenheiros for civil engineers with little fluence in English, would existe alguma possibilidade? Does it have the possibility to improve the English with time? Of course. Of
Oh,
course
for
there are.
sure. With
For
time. Yeah,
sure.
with time.
No,
But maybe
like,
be realistic about your expectations coming here. There's probably going to be a few starter jobs first to get yourself at a certain level.
no,
But I think
I
once your
think
eyes are
he's
open,
no, I think he's asking if there is any possibility to get a job with little English.
ah,
With little English, it's difficult.
it is
Because
difficult.
before, like 3 years ago, I would say yes, but now I don't think it's that easy as used to be because there are a lot of Brazilians and a lot of civil engineers that are trying.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Staying competitive. Like, for example, I'm based over here in France. Without fluency in France, it's incredibly difficult to break into the space. So I think at least having a conversational language to be able to converse with your colleagues in the workspace and have an interview is the bare minimum.
I would say definitely go first for a language exchange program,
Yeah.
like fully learning English, and then
Hmm.
after 1 year, I would start trying getting a job in your area. All right. So Glaucia is asking, I would like to know about opportunities in the hospitality industry, the hotels. Shona
Lots.
used to recruit for this industry.
I did. And I will say there is a never ending need for hotel professionals. Hospitality is one of those industries. One of our most booming industries in Ireland. So tourism is huge. Sadly, it's one of the industries that when there is a crisis like in the pandemic, it's one of the first to react. So everything closed, people lost their jobs. But it's also one of the first to recover as quickly as it falls, as quickly as it gets back up. But now there's a deficit because we lost a lot of our management across finance, sales, marketing,
Yeah.
events, PR. So now there's a huge deficit for leadership. You will always find casual hospitality jobs. It's a very easy industry to break into. But if
Mhm.
you're from a certain skill level, marketing, sales, business development, events, revenue, accountancy, there is an endless supply of jobs. What I would say is definitely start your foundation in a food and beverage environment because most hospitality professionals have grown within the industry. Very few people just arrive at a marketing manager in a hotel. Normally, they've paid their time in the bar, in the restaurant, at the reception. So try to get your hospitality exposure from the ground up because it's all about understanding the customer, what the Irish welcome is, what the Irish hospitality is. And the best place to do that is on the ground with the customer.
Yeah, exactly. Fabio, hello. I'm an AWS cloud analyst from Brazil. You can get a job for sure.
Yeah,
AWS,
you're
it's
okay.
always recruiting, always, okay? Because I'm working for industrial cybersecurity. That's what we were talking about before. And look, we have Fabio. Hello there. I'm looking for a junior level IT opportunity. I've worked as a programmer some years ago, but I would like to restart in this career. Okay. The question is, which technology?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
understand? So you have to remember technology is fast changing.
Super dynamic. Yeah.
So if you put in the CV that you worked for as a programmer or developer some years ago, the hiring managers would think, he's not up to date with technology we need.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to fill that gap.
So what I would suggest you is go back studying, but
Yeah.
go back studying in courses courses in English, not in Portuguese.
Mm,
There
hmm.
are so
Absolutely.
courses in English, like for example, edx.com,
Coursera, Udemy,
Coursera.
LinkedIn Learning.
Yes, there are loads of
Lots. Yeah.
courses in English because then in this way you're going to start getting like the buzzwords, the
Yes.
keyword in English. And when you go for an interview, it's going to be easier for you to explain to the recruiter what you did and what you learned.
Yeah, definitely.
I know
Yeah,
it's difficult, I know it's harder, but it's going to help you a lot. Okay.
yeah, for sure. Mm.
And again, try to see what's the best technology right now. Because
Yeah,
look, we are just recruiters. We don't know what are the technologies that, like are, in trend, or it's going to be the next, like, I don't know,
exactly.
trend in
Big
the
thing.
market. Yeah, the big thing to understand. So start to talk to the IT and professionals, the IT professionals. There are a group in Facebook called IT in Dublin. IT
Ah,
in
very
Ireland.
good.
IT in Ireland or IT in Dublin? It's either IT in Ireland or IT in Dublin. They're amazing. They have a lot of IT professionals. Most of them are Brazilians working in the industry, and they can help you a lot, right?
Amazing.
And yeah, do you have anything else to add here? So,
I I think you've capped it. I think it's all about closing the gap. So on your CV, rather than having lots of other jobs in between, like your very old experience as a programmer, you can put student of
yes,
whatever, AI technologies, student of blah, blah, blah. Because what it does is just close that gap. Because anywhere where we've had a gap or a break in our CV from our own industry, we have to think we're going out into the market with a lot of competition. So we're going to have to give ourselves an edge. And if you can't do that through experience, then it has to be academics. So courses, courses, courses.
exactly. Hello, I would like to know more about mechanical engineering opportunities. We just covered that, right?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see, Marco? We covered that before. I don't know if you have seen.
And
Uh,
particularly if you're in automotive, think of mainland Europe for
yeah,
automotive opportunities,
exactly.
mainland Europe.
Luis Correia. I'm an Android developer in Brazilian, and I'm in Portugal. And this week I'm going to Ireland as a tourist. Can I work as a developer and have a work visa in Ireland? Can I work as a Yes, you can work as a developer and you can have a work visa in Ireland, but you need to pass in the interview.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You
Exactly.
can go. I think the question is if he goes to Ireland, if he can get a job there.
Ah, I see what you mean. Well, I know that there are critical skills visas for IT professionals. It just depends what category you fit into. It's very
No,
hard to know
he's
without the
critical skills.
details.
He is
Oh, he is in
critical
critical
skills.
skills. Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
he's a
Yes,
developer.
yes, yes.
Software
Yeah,
developers are always critical skills. The
yes.
thing is, if you go to Ireland, Luis, and let's say you go for 3, 5 interviews, all right? If you pass in one of the interviews, you have to go back to Portugal and apply for the working visa from Portugal. You cannot be in Ireland.
Yeah, because you're a resident of Portugal. Yes,
Exactly.
that's
He
true.
was a tourist. For example, Portugal, well, Portugal can't as well, but Brazilians do, and like they stay illegal for a few years, like. But at the end, it all ends up okay. But I cannot say that Portugal, yes, you can do that, but for sure, Dubai,
Off
you can
the record.
the record. Don't say that to anyone, guys.
Did
Okay?
not hear it here.
No, cannot say nothing here. In the UAE, in the United Arab Emirates, all right, Dubai, you can come as a tourist, go for interviews, get a job, and change your tourist visa to work.
Ah,
This is legal here.
very interesting.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's
That's
amazing
very
because
interesting.
you don't need to go back to your home country, right?
Come for shopping and stay forever.
Right, exactly. Raphael, how is my chance to get a job in Ireland? I'm accountant, English level between B1 and B2.
Okay, well, accountancy jobs are great and you fall into critical skills, but you've got to pass your ACCA, and that
Yeah,
is the one of the nuances of accountancy. It's one of the critical exams that you need to pass in order to practice. So certain professions like architecture, engineering, medicine, accountancy, you have to have your qualifications validated, and the ACCA is one of the crucial processes of that.
yeah. It's not only CCA. There is the CCA and the Irish one. I don't remember the name.
Um,
ICA.
you're right.
It's
You're right. There's two. You're right.
ICA as well.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, look, guys, I'm gonna go for the critical skills list Ireland. Let's go. Because you can get a job in Ireland, maybe not as an accountant, but as account
Assistant
payable, account
coordinator.
receivable, yeah, accounting coordinator, accounting analyst,
Yeah.
like all these positions, they are general skills. They're not
Yeah.
critical skills, but you can get a work permit, like you can
Yeah.
get for sure. Let's show here. Here, look. Can you see?
Yes.
So let's go for account. See, so chartered and certified accountants, tax experts, compliance, regulation. So if you work in tax, of course, it's Irish tax, okay?
Yeah.
Compliance, regulation, solvency, or financial management related and relevant specialist skills, qualification, experience. Your critical skills. Qualified accountants with auditing experience, critical skills. See, you have to be a member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accounts, AICPA, or the Philippines Institute of Certified Public Accounts, PICPA, or ICAP, which is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Pakistan, and the US GAAP, okay, if you have this experience as well as a global audit and advisory services, you are critical skills as well, and tax consultants. So those are critical skills. So you need to have the ACCA or the Irish one or one of those, okay, to be critical skills. If you're not, you can get a general skills work
Skills.
permit. Yeah, a general work permit. Sorry, general work permit to work in an area related to finance and accounting. Okay. Or what you could do as well that no one knows is the stamp A visa Ireland. Stamp 1A. So here we go. No one knows that, okay? I don't know why, but there is a stamp 1A, okay? So stamp 1 is the work visa, okay? So the work visa 1A, all right? So it's for trainee accountant. Sorry. Which means if you go to Ireland and you are studying the ACCA or the IAASA, all right, and you get a job, you go under this visa. And this visa goes for 4 years here.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you point that out, Tana. I don't always think of that either. It's funny. It does seem to be a bit of a loophole.
Yeah, I know. So a lot of Brazilians, they go to Ireland and they are studying English, all right, and then they register themselves for the ACCA, which give already the eligibility to apply for trainee accountant jobs, and they can work for like any company as a trainee accountant. You just need to register. It's going to be is studying, all right? So when you register, you will be already a student, because from your college, I think it's credits, all right? So like, I think it's
Yes.
9 papers. So because most of the accountants have, a bachelor degree plus a master's or an MBA, which I think it's like 3 credits, 3 papers,
Yes. It
So that
exempts them from certain things.
exact. So that means um, you are already a student.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's getting to know what the technicalities, guys. I'm telling you, the visas, it's a land of its own. It's so
Yeah,
complicated. I do feel for you. There's a lot to it.
yeah. And some companies don't know that either.
Yes. That's why recruiters are so scared of this question as well.
Huh, where are we, Shona?
Okay.
Karin, your question is too big. I have been working for the last 2 years in the marketing area, very focused on content creation in the education industry, university accommodations. But I would like to change from this industry and move towards campaign creation to be able to apply international companies. I'm currently about to start a professional diploma UCD in digital marketing. Very good, well done. And last year, I completed my degree in marketing. Well done. What is the step to follow to successfully change my path? Wow, that's a good question.
It's a very good question with not a simple answer, though, because it depends on the company. Because a lot of smaller companies would have their marketing professionals look after the creation of campaigns, but then there are other companies, larger, would outsource all of that kind of third party affiliation to different agencies. So it really just depends the direction that you're going. I don't know, Tana, what would be your advice on that?
I think in this case we could, bring her to our cycle, the elite cycle,
Ah, yes, very good point. Very,
because
very
we
good point.
have a methodology in Storani Careers where we teach our clients, okay, which is the steps to get a job, like
Yeah.
to become a job seeker, active job seeker. We call, the agile methodology, like the
We
agile job
borrowed it.
methodology. Like there are steps, and it's a forever loop, all right? A forever loop
Yes.
of trying, testing, trying. You can never stop.
Yeah,
So I think the first step would be starting researching, right?
absolutely.
Market
Absolutely.
research, talking to people,
Marketing
checking
affiliate companies. So the larger
job.
companies like hotels, just thinking back to hotels, we used to outsource all of our campaigns to a third party affiliate agency. And it would be their understanding to look at all our competitors. What are they doing? What are their package offerings? What can we come up with? When do we launch our campaigns? When are people most online? When are they most likely to click?
Yeah,
But we outsourced all of that. So get familiar with who are the outsourced affiliate companies specialize
yeah.
in marketing
And then
and start targeting.
the next step would be preparing. So prepare your resume, prepare your LinkedIn, preparing your portfolio. You work in content
Totally.
creation. You have to have a portfolio, right?
Yeah. I GitHub, I would always say, have something, have a visual. If your job involves visuals in whatever capacity, an architect, a marketeer, whatever, if it involves visuals, then a CV is not enough for you to be competitive. You've got to have
Yeah,
a profile as well, or a portfolio, definitely.
exactly. And then the third step will be acting. It will be starting the job hunt,
Yeah,
connecting people, applying, using different channels. So you have to put your
yeah,
eggs in different baskets, because a lot
definitely.
of people make the mistakes of only contacting, or the mistake is only wait for the contact of headhunters.
Very passive, yeah.
Very passive, like, oh,
Hmm.
someone contacted me and said it's going to send my CV to your company. And you're like, who? I don't know.
Yeah,
Know
yeah.
the name of the company? No. Do you know what's the
What was
job? No.
no, yeah, yeah, Yeah,
How come
definitely.
you're gonna get a job if you don't even know the name of the company? Do you understand?
Yeah. You have to be a bit aggressive. That's one thing, guys. Don't like if you want the job, it's not going to come to you. Nobody's dream job did they wake up and it was just there on their table. You have to
Yeah,
fight and fight hard.
exactly. So active researching,
Absolutely.
contacting, networking,
Connect with
hiring
campaign
managers,
managers.
campaign managers, anyone in
Yeah.
your industry. Talk
Yeah.
to them, call them,
Definitely. PR
call.
agencies. PR agencies are involved a lot with campaigns because it's all about
Yeah,
the branding of the company. How is the branding out there in the market? So straight, like really twist all of the possible resources that you can find.
exactly. And also make a tracking. Okay, you have to have a
Definitely, yeah.
tool to track everything you do. You cannot just simply send 1,000 CVs, not updating the CV per job, not sending,
Yeah,
like crafted cover letter,
yeah,
not contacting someone from the company saying like, look, I applied for this position. I want to know if you like the company. What's your feedback in
yeah,
working for this company? Start talking to people. All right.
yeah, yeah.
You will see
We
how
haven't,
things going to change.
yeah,
Then that the final step is the feedback and then starting all over again, like feedback, analyzing, and
what
then
can you
start
do better?
exactly because if it's a
Yeah,
good feedback, you are hired. If it's a bad feedback, you have to analyze what did you do
yeah,
wrong, what could you
yeah,
do to improve or to change or to do something that's better. Do you understand?
exactly.
Go back to the loop of analyzing, preparing, acting, and then forever until you get the job.
Yeah.
Okay. Melissa, hello. I'm Brazilian lawyer, work with data protection laws. How is the job market in Europe for it? I have a Master of Laws from Copenhagen. Jesus, you can get a job super
Bravo.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Every company will have an internal GDPR, someone in charge of that, someone looking at their compliance, their online, making sure that they're in
Melissa,
compliance with. Yeah,
do the
no
do our
problem.
career, do our fast track career consulting. You're losing your time. You have a bachelor, a master's degree from Copenhagen University.
Yeah,
If you're not getting a job, it's something wrong in your CV or LinkedIn. Seriously, I highly recommend you to buy our fast track career consulting services. 2
yeah,
hours of
absolutely.
consult, resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn. And also, you're going to be part of the WhatsApp group for networking,
Hmm.
the Facebook group with 2,000, more than 2,000 people that has already been working in companies now, and they do referrals, they do
Yeah,
networking. And also, you have access to the VIP membership area where there
which
are
is
loads of
amazing.
interviews, yeah, with recruiters, like recruiters from Apple, Google, LinkedIn, HubSpot, telling you what
Yeah,
to do and not to do in interviews or job hunt, how to message them. It's a lot
yeah,
of good information there in our VIP membership area,
yeah.
right?
Insider tips. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
Okay. Rafael, do you think I can get a job in Ireland? I'm
Oh, we've
accounting.
already done this one.
Already
Maybe we're
answered.
going back, are we?
No. Lilian Gomes, how do professionals apply for a job, work visa to work in Ireland? Do the companies invest in the visa application to hire the professionals, for example, from Brazil?
You
Okay,
would
so it's
need to
not
be
an
very
investment.
niche there.
Okay, so I think I know what she asked.
Okay.
How do professionals apply for a work visa to work in Ireland? All right. So there are two ways, okay? The company can apply and the professional can apply.
Hmm.
Both can apply. Both or you or the company can pay. For example, in France, in Netherlands, only the company apply and
Yeah.
only the company pay. It's
Mm,
forbidden to the professional to apply and pay for the work visa. In Ireland, no, it's different. You can do that. You can say to the
hmm
company in the interview, look, I can pay for my process, for the work visa process. I can pay, I can do myself. How you apply, where you apply, you have to apply in the immigration website, in the Irish immigration website. There is a website, it's everything online. You don't need to go there. The application is all online. Okay. Do companies invest in visa application? I think the word's not investing, it's expand.
Yeah.
If they pay, or they do, some companies do, some companies don't, because it is an
Yeah.
extra money. It's expense for them.
Yeah.
It's not an investment for them, they're spending their
Yeah.
money hiring someone from Brazil, plus waiting this person to arrive, because it might take 2-3 months, plus the chance of you not adapt in the country and leave the
Yeah,
job in 6 months,
exactly.
right?
So I would say applying for a job when you're not in the country, regardless, is an incredibly difficult thing to do. And you have to be prepared for a hard fight. It's always better to come settle yourself, get some starter jobs, and then put yourself through the process, because a lot of it is your culture fit as well. Companies are scared you're not going to like it and go, and they've already invested in you at that point. So it's a risk.
Yeah. So it's possible. I've seen some clients, okay, getting a job and getting a work permit paid from
Mm-hmm.
Brazil. But again, depends on the job and depends on the area. Most of these
Mm,
professionals, they were either engineers or the pharmaceutical industry.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Specifics. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So, Diane, we got a job on a farm, but someone told us that the quotas for a dairy farm system were over. It's true. Do you have any estimated date to return? Diane, we are not lawyers.
Yeah.
We don't know that, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. I think this question you should send to Get Your Visa, Taizi. They are all immigration lawyers, and they would know this information. We don't know.
Mm,
We know a few bits and pieces, about the main work permits, but
yeah,
not,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's specific.
Gabriel, I have European passport, but I live in Brazil. I think we answered already his question.
Yeah, we might be
Yeah,
going on the loop.
look, I have to say, if you have European passport, why are you still in Brazil? Come to Europe.
Yeah, definitely. If you've got the passport, come over here. We're waiting for you. There's lots of opportunities. What's going to be key
Yeah.
as well, guys, is cultural integration and feeling comfortable in the language. That's so essential to how you present during an interview as well.
Yes, and again, look, it's a matter of time you're getting a job, and when you go to, when you have always to think, when you arrive in a new country, things are not super easy at the beginning, but after a time, it becomes easier and easier and easier. All right, just have to
Hmm.
remember that to open your mind, to be flexible, and why not getting a job, like in a hotel or in a pub, while you are improving your English, and then trying to get a job in a multinational. But if you come to Europe, it's gonna be easier for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Here, sorry. Jobs in as electrical engineer. There opportunities? Whew,
Lots.
loads, loads. Jesus, we have a lot of questions, guys, and I'm so sorry we don't have time to answer them all.
We
We
don't
have
have time, but I think what could be
time.
nice, Tana, if you have a way of screenshotting them, and then over the next couple of days, myself and the team, we can go back to people if they
Yeah,
have their email addresses there. We'll get back to
that's
people.
very good question. Very good. I'm going to send to wait. Uh,
But to answer your question, Claude, yes, Ireland is booming for growth and development and housing projects and company projects. It never stops. Electrical engineers are always needed. That's for sure.
And hotel management, we have already answered.
Yeah.
Also a question. I don't have European passport, so you have to go as a student. All right, you will be able to get a work permit there in Ireland if you work well, if the company wants to pay for this visa, but as a manager, not as a, for example, customer service or a waitress. As a manager, yes, but you have to go to be in Europe. You have to be in Ireland. Psychology, no, you cannot practice in Ireland. I'm sorry. Is there famous sites where we can check open jobs for immigrants? Whew, loads, right?
Lots, endless.
We have jobs.ie, jobs.ie, and jobs.ie. And we have Glassdoor, and we have LinkedIn, and we
Indeed.
Indeed, yes. I'm screenshots of the questions, guys. We are gonna get back to you.
Yes.
Yes, with time. I'm so sorry. Too many questions.
We have a training though. If it makes you feel better, we have a training after this call to improve our services. So it's for your benefit that we're running away.
And next week, next Monday, we will be here again.
Yes, every Monday for the month of September. You're going to be sick of us by the end of the month, guys, but we'll be here every Monday.
Very good.
So good, though, speaking to everyone, having a chance to interact. It's been so lovely.
I hope you liked my international professionals. It was lovely to talk to you, answer all your questions. I hope, like we could give you a little bit of insight and hope and like the fast track on how to get an international job.
Yeah, hopefully. And there's lots of topics coming up, guys. So well worth tuning in with a cup of tea on a Monday evening and staying up to date with what's going on.
Thank you very much, Shona, for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tana, for having me.
Yeah, we see each other next week, Monday, guys.
Yes.
Mwah.
Take care, guys. Have a great week ahead. Bye.